what's going on? Doing another video here. Remember all that wood that we cut down? Look at that. It's all gone. We burned it all today. Remember that huge pile that was sitting out here? Oh man, it's all gone now. It's all nothing but a pile of cinders and ash. Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to be working on today, you guys. Remember when I built the spindles and I showed you how I was not going to take off the material right here? Well, the reason is because I'm going to be putting fenders. I'll put a little fender right here, and that's where I'm going to be welding it onto. I'm going to weld this fender right onto the spindle so the fender will turn with this when I go to turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. It's probably easier to see over here on this one. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of flat stock, 1 inch, 1/8 inch thick, and I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle in it, and then I'm going to put it coming out like this. I'm going to weld it right onto here. It's going to come out, have a flat spot, and then have another flat one that's going to go right up over it. I'm not going to put too much into these just because I have a feeling that they probably won't last with the kids walking around standing on them. I don't know what it is with the kids, but they just love to climb all over these damn things. I don't understand why. I keep telling them to stay off. They climb around the Manco. They climb around on Allie's cart. They just climb all over these dang things, you know. And no matter how many times I tell them to stay off, they still just walk up and, hey Dad, what's going on? Start climbing up on them. So I have a feeling that if I make these fenders really elaborate, then they're not going to last very long. And I don't want to put that much effort into them because I have a feeling that they're going to be standing on them. So what I'm going to do here is I cut one piece at 45 degrees, and it is 4 inches long. It's going to be going on the spindle, well, like that. Okay, that's going to be like that. This one, which is 4.5 inches long, it'll just be a square type of thing, be welded like that. Then I'll put sheet metal on there. But to make sure that I weld these two pieces directly at a 90-degree angle, what I decided to do was grab a piece of square tubing, and then I clamped on the two pieces. And I made sure I overlap them. I'm going to overlap it the right way on both of them. And then all I got to do is I'm just going to weld right here, and then take it off and then weld the other side. That is. So I don't have to build no damn jig for this type of thing. All I got to do is just use my existing scrap that I have laying around here. Anything with a 90-degree angle that ain't going to set fire when you go to weld. When you go to weld it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got that. I don't have it welded on yet. I got my magnet holding it on in place. So this is how it's just going to be. Just a piece of 1/8 inch thick, 1 inch flat stock. That's what this is. So this is what I'm going to do here. I will eventually weld that into place right there. So I took the measurements off of it, and what we have is from a side profile, I want it to extend down 4 inches, go at an angle at 5 inches, and go at another angle at 1.5. Each one of these angles is going to be 45 degrees, but the thing is I'm making it out of a piece of 18 gauge, no, this is 20 gauge sheet metal. Alright, so with these dimensions that I got here, 4, 5, and 1.5, that's 9, 10.5. So it's 10.5 inches of material that I'm going to have to cut off of here. The width is 4 3/4. Yeah, 4 3/4. And so I need to measure it out to being 10.5. But I'm not going to measure it at exactly 10.5 because since I'm going to be putting in the angles, and when you bend sheet metal, or actually when you bend all metal, it gets longer when you bend it. So there's a mathematical figure that you can use to figure in how much your steel is going to stretch and stuff, and it's called the K factor, but I'm not going to get into that crap. So kind of, if I'm bending a piece of steel like this thin at 45 degrees, that means it's going to stretch the steel roughly about 1/32 to 1/16 longer. But since I've got 2 in here, I'm going to have to compensate for that. So what I'm going to do is, instead of measuring this thing out exactly 10.5 inches, I'm going to measure it out to about 10 3/8, maybe slightly over 10 3/8, because I know that after I make those bends, the steel is going to stretch out to be the total of 10.5. So let me mark all this stuff up. Okay, well, I got these, I got them cut out now. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to trim them up, grind them down. Is that blood? But anyways, yeah, I got to grind them down, straighten out all the corners, and then where I have the marks at, I'll have to make the bends. Okay, so since to make sure that they both come out to be the same size, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be layering them, putting one on top of the other, making sure the straight edge, because one edge is straight while the other ones are all kind of curvy, because I used my cutting shears here to cut the steel. So using those things, you know, it kind of comes out not very straight. So I'm going to layer them up, put clamps on there, and then grind everything down to the marks of the ink pen that I used to mark it. Alright, just got done grinding everything straight. Jesus, how the hell did I get that so tight? Alright, so now get rid of all the burrs. Don't want those. Get your file tip quick. Pull out the emery cloth because I don't want any sharp edges here. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to drill holes through it so that way the panel will stay on the bracket here. And unfortunately, my drill has no battery on it, and I don't want to try sticking that in the drill press and trying to drill straight down through that. So I gotta use my drill. But the dang battery's dead! I've got a few of them around, but I don't know, that one's dead too. The one I just pulled off of here is somewhere, but dang it. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna drill those holes. Maybe I've got a battery in the house that's still that's charging. Go check. Okay, well, I got those drilled. Didn't get them too even. And I tacked it on there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the tire so I can get behind there and weld that into place. And also another thing that I did, that since I stuck the bolts in, I put real long bolts in there, and that helped me create the space between the tire and the fender there. Obviously those bolts aren't going to stay there, but I use that as a spacing. Alright, so there we go. Kind of simple. All I really did was bend the corners down slightly. See how I did that? Bent them in down there like that. Instead of just leaving them as just sharp on the edges. Now what I'm going to be doing here eventually is underneath them, they still don't quite extend down far enough to block water spraying back and hitting the engine. If I ever turn like that, water will still fling up and hit the engine. So what I'm going to be doing down here is, I saw this, where's it at? I saw some crazy ass Mexican guy take duct tape and fold it over. He had a piece that came down here, and then he folded it up and then stuck it together, and it patted right over the blade, right over the motorcycle fender, over his back tire. And it worked really, really dang good. So I think I might be doing that sometime. Not right now though. So, alright. That's my simplistic fender. Didn't really put much into it just because I have a feeling that they probably won't last very long with the kids, the way they climb around on everything. So, yeah, there we go. Show from the front. Yep. I was thinking about putting sides on it, you know, making it so that, you know, or bending it down so the sides come down, but I didn't want to do that because then because it's welded on there, bracket is, and I could probably take the bolts out, but I just didn't want to have to take this off to take the tire off. I don't want to do that. This way I can take the tire off. Yep. Simple idea. Welded right onto the spindles themselves. Yeah, like that. Okay. So guys, I'm getting a little sick of my hair being so damn long. Yeah. So I had to went in and got one of Ellie's little hair ties and stuck it in my hair. Keep my hair out of my face, and wearing a hat, it's just too hot out. So yeah, one of these days I'm going to be going down and getting myself a haircut, because I'm getting sick of this long hair. So alright, you guys take it easy and post a comment on what you think about my little makeshift fenders, okay? Alright, see you later. Bye-bye.